Жарко здесь, сладкий мой. Окей, она подсоединяется. Любимый, вон там так хорошо, вон там вот сесть.
Я здесь сижу.
Я понимаю, что ты здесь сидишь, нам час будет сидеть. Мне жарко, я посмотри на меня, посмотри, я вся сгоревшая. Я не хочу на солнце сидеть. Почему? Все должно быть.
Okay, how about that? Y'all. Oh my goodness. Hi. Hey, you all. Oh, it's good.
Where you come in?
Yeah, I'm sorry. You know what it was? So I use I have a blue snowball that I use for all my podcast and everything, and it's just not liking that. So it's forcing me to use the internal speaker, which I didn't want to do, but I'll work on that for next time. Hi, it's so good to see everyone. Let's see, we've got 11 so far. And yeah, I'd love to see you. Hey, oh, it's so good, nice to finally see your face. Hi.
Hi.
Y'all, that's so good. So welcome. we're gonna give. Oh, I should have not made it to where I have to admit people, so I'll have to fix that for next time too. Let me admit a couple more, and then we'll all do a quick introduction and we'll get busy. It's so good to see you. Come on. There we go. Well, how is everyone today?
We're doing good, thank you.
Oh, yes. How are you?
I'm good. Well, it's 12:03, so I will keep watching for me having to welcome people. And y'all, I would love for you to just to each one go around and just say your name and where you're from, just so we can say hi and know who you guys are. So I'm Monica Irvin, and I'm so excited to get to know you all better. I'm in Knoxville, Tennessee. It's a rainy, kind of yucky day. I'm on grandmother duty today. I'm dressed in my sweatpants and flannel. I'm getting to babysit my little 1-year-old granddaughter today. So my husband's in charge while I do this meeting. So we're all just, family, working in family and trying to work from home right now. So you guys take turns, say hello and tell us who you are.
Do you want to call on us? It's hard
Sure.
to know what order.
Good suggestion. Hey, Jill, why don't you go?
Okay. Hi, I'm Jill Dunham from Fort Worth, Texas. I grew up in Minnesota, and I know Monica through the homeschool conventions in Texas. Love that. I have twin girls that are 8 years old, and we don't homeschool. They're in regular school, but we still really value education, so we supplement a lot at home and love learning. So that's us.
Excellent. Welcome, Jill. All right, Matthew, you want to introduce?
Fans said to one of the things that we use Christmas lights. Yeah. And I thought that was a good idea.
So, Matthew, is that you talking?
I guess,
I see. It's you,
yeah.
your husband's account.
No, my name is Ina. My husband's name is Mike. I guess I don't know. Maybe I put my son's name at some point.
I got it.
Yeah, our son's name is Matthew, and my name is Ina, and my husband is Mike. So we met you, Monica, at homeschool convention last year at LA, Ontario. And yeah, so that's how we met you first time, and then we have 9-year-old son.
Awesome. Well, welcome you all. It's nice to see you again.
Thank
Okay,
you.
how about Sean? And you guys can mute yourself if you're not talking. If you do have a lot of noise, that's up to you. Okay, Sean.
I'm Sean Perry. I met Monica when she came to the Wichita, Kansas Homeschool Convention, and we are doing her etiquette skills right now. That's my son who's 11 and myself, and having lots of fun with that. And did I say I live in Derby, Kansas? So
Yeah.
I'm right in the middle of things.
Okay, awesome. I'm doing a Facebook Live for the Wichita Teacher Parents Association this Saturday or tomorrow.
Are you really? How
Yeah,
fun.
I'm your
Good. I look forward to that.
Yeah. Welcome, Sean. Awesome. Okay, Amy. Are you there, Amy? Let me unmute Amy. So Amy
Sorry about that. I forgot to unmute
No
myself.
worries. No worries.
I'm Amy Netzley, and I'm in Michigan. And we were first introduced to the Etiquette Factory many years ago from a friend. And our kids grew up doing the little bitty one where we're singing songs. And then we went through the other course, and I've heard Monica speak at different conferences. And our kids are now, we have 4 kids. They are now 10, 12, 13, and 14. And so it's a kind of going into a new stage of parenting, and thought there'd be new things to learn as they transition into the teenage years.
There is. Awesome. Welcome. I'm glad that you're here. Yeah, welcome. Awesome. Okay, let's see. I don't want to skip anyone, y'all. I hope I'm going in the order that this is here. Let's see. Cynthia.
Yes, hi, I'm Cynthia Clark.
Hi.
Hi, and I'm in Des Moines, Iowa. And a couple years ago, we moved from Fort Worth, Texas, so we're up here. I have 3 boys, 10, 13, and 16. And we just started doing the Etiquette Factory just this year. So I've only learned about it just this year. And I think I just found it online, I think, or maybe some emails that describe different homeschooling options. And just, all three of the boys did it this year, really enjoyed that. And then listening to Monica's podcasts, I've listened to those and just really appreciated really helpful information. So yeah, and boys now are entering, 13, 16, they're definitely entering a new stage. So that the teen years and dating and all that is definitely something I want to learn about.
Awesome. We get it. We all get it. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Let's see. Wait, Stephanie, you already went. Do we
not yet.
haven't? Okay. Oh, we have two Stephanies.
Oh, okay. You want me to go ahead and go first?
Yes, please, please.
Okay. Hi, my name is Stephanie Eaton, and I live near Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And I have 3 boys, the ages 12, 9, and 6. And we do homeschool. And that's how I actually met Monica, was through a homeschool convention. But we do the I love your podcast. I have just learned so much from those. And so I wanted to come here and see what more I could glean from you.
Thank you. I'm glad that you're here. Glad that you're here.
Thank you.
And I'll jump in. I'm Jason, Stephanie's husband, calling from my car in the parking lot of work. So,
bless your heart.
thank you.
Are you having lunch in your car? Are you on your lunch hour?
Yes, ma'am.
That's awesome. I'm so glad you're here. I know, not all dads can do it. So kudos to you for making it happen. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Blythe, you want to jump in?
Hi, I'm Blythe Autry. Hey, and this is Lillian.
Hi. Hi, Lillian.
My 9-year-old, and we just love you. We just watched some Merry Manners before we had this conference, but I met Monica at a homeschool convention as well. And did I say I'm in Texas, Midland, Texas, West Texas?
Yes.
Thank you. And we also do the Etiquette Factory, listen to podcasts, and we're just so excited to receive an invitation to join you and these other awesome parents. So thank you so much.
Thank you. So glad you're here. So glad you're here. Y'all, it's jumbling my names. Heather and Jared, are you there?
We're here. Hi.
Hi.
This is Jared. I'm Heather Hanks. We live in Claremont, Florida, which is near Orlando, basically. And we met you, Monica, at FPEA years and years ago. I don't know, maybe 12 years ago when we first started homeschooling. And we have 3 girls who are 9, 15, and 17. And we have been homeschooling, like I said, it's probably been about 12 years or so. I'm trying to remember, but and yeah, we've really enjoyed everything with the Etiquette Factory and podcasts and webinars and all sorts of wonderful things. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
Okay. So we're super excited, and we do missions here in Orlando. We do it through Youth with a Mission, so that's kind of our full-time thing that we do, and we've transitioned into that as a family over the last, 5 or 6, something like years. And so that's our journey right now, and so we're excited to just be a part of this group and glean new information and be any help we can, and receive wonderful things from all of these people who I'm sure know lots of great stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you. I'm glad y'all are here. You all, welcome. Okay, Kelly, have you gone? I don't think you've gone.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. My name's Kelly Carl. I'm also from Michigan. I live up near Gaylord, Michigan, in northern Michigan. We've been homeschooling for about 4 years. I have 2 sons. One's in college and one is a middle schooler. And I met Monica a number of years ago when I first embarked on this at the INCH convention in Michigan. And we've used the Etiquette Factory actually in our homeschool co-op with a bunch of middle school boys. And that was quite an experience. It was fun. So I'm excited to learn more and be part of this group. Thank you.
It's awesome. So tell me about this. This looks like a log cabin you're in.
Yeah, it is. It's an old log cabin that we live in northern Michigan. It was 2 old houses back in the logging days that were put together. And yeah,
Look at that
so
ceiling. That is
isn't it cool?
gorgeous. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
maybe later we can have
It's
a
fun.
tour.
Sure.
I-
It's got a lot of character, so
Wow. I
it's
love
fun.
Awesome. Thank you and welcome. Hey, you all, I've got someone, it just says iPad, so I don't know who you are. I don't have a name. So. is
Hi,
there-
Monica. I'm Brianna.
Okay, awesome.
I'm sorry. I missed where to put my name in. So
You're good. Usually I think it's just connected with an account, so I'm not sure either. So tell us a little bit about you.
I'm from Palmer, Alaska, and I have 3 kids. We have 10, 8, and 3, 2 girls and a boy. I've been homeschooling all my kids, so I've met you at the IDEA conference before. We've used some of your stuff in the past, and we're just going through a rocky period. So when you said you were doing this, I said, I want to try.
Yeah, welcome. I sure miss, have you been to either one of our my webinars for IDEA families in the past week?
Yes, I did.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
That's been fun. I was so
Yeah.
sad not to come, but at least we've been able to do that, so that's been awesome. Thank
Yeah,
you.
it has been good.
Welcome. All right, you all, you're going to have to tell me if you haven't introduced yourself, because now hello.
Hi, I'm Stephanie also, and
Other
I
Stephanie.
am from Tampa, Florida. Let's see, I have one daughter. She is 7. She's finishing up 2nd grade, and I just need parenting help. I emailed you, told you my husband works in San Francisco, and we live here, so sometimes it just gets overwhelming.
Yeah. We all know the definition of overwhelming. We do. It's why we're here. But even we all get that. So thank you for being here. Is that everyone? Has everyone introduced yourself? Have I missed anyone? Okay. I hope
I didn't. I haven't said anything yet.
Sorry.
It's all right.
You can go first.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. You go ahead,
No,
Chris.
you go.
Okay. I have 6 children. We have just adopted 2 this past fall. We foster to adopt, so they are older, 12 and 6, going to be 7 in a month. And we have just had some interesting challenges, obviously, because we haven't had foundation laid in the past. And of course, all the other children have their own needs, the oldest being 16 and the youngest otherwise being 7. Oh, and I guess I'm from Indiana. I didn't say that. And I'm Tina.
Well, hey, Tina, and welcome. Glad that you're here. You know, I can only imagine. We adopted my little brother, and yeah, there were different challenges. But as you know, whether you have all of our children have different issues, just like we do. But yeah, it does throw another dynamic in your family when they come from a different foundation. Kind of stirs things up for sure. All right, Carissa, it's your turn.
My name is Carissa. I'm from New Hampshire. I also have 6 kids. My oldest is 18, my youngest is 6, and my second youngest has Down syndrome. So we have that, and I homeschool all of them. And I went to, well, we've done Etiquette Factory. I learned about that at Mass Hope conference, and I've been doing that for years with my kids and really appreciated it. But what really got me here was the seminar that you did last Saturday. Was it last Saturday? For parents on loving your kids, disciplining with love. And that was so powerful. And I don't know, that got me here.
I'm glad that you're here. You know, that's probably many of you have sat through that workshop, disciplining your children without breaking their spirits. That's a tough one. It's a tough one for all of us, you know, to sit through. So we all get the emotion that comes from that workshop. So thank you for being here. All right, y'all. I think that's everyone. We're missing 5 of our members, but you know, not everyone could be here. I am recording this. Thank you for being here. I am just so excited. I'm going to be honest with you all and be really real. I am so nervous. I've been speaking for 12 years. So it was actually 12 years ago, Heather. Actually, my first convention was 11 years ago, but I've been coaching for 12 years. And for some reason, when I am one-on-one with parents or in a group in front of 200 speaking, I usually am never nervous. It's just one of those things. I just usually am not. But I felt that it was time for me to do this, and I have been a nervous wreck since the first one of you signed up. And I think where that comes from is just, I know what it's like, of course, to be overwhelmed as a mother. And, most of you, and you will learn more about me and my family. Y'all, my family has been a hot mess before too. And you'll learn more about that as we get to know each other better. But I know that you wouldn't be here if you didn't feel like, you had some extra needs right now. And so I have been really nervous about that because because I want this to be a good place and a good experience for you. And as I've been praying about it over and over again this week, just overall, I just have felt the Lord just, remind me that what we as parents need the most is support and encouragement. And I have gleaned so much in my life from the experience of other parents. And that has been instrumental in how I have parented my own children. And so I'm just going to take a step forward, and I'm going to try not to worry. We're going to talk about worry today. I'm going to help you not worry, and hopefully you're going to help me not worry. But I want you to know that the reason I think and I'm excited about this group is I do my podcast every week, and I do webinars. But what I wanted is, I know that when we are in the middle of either a crisis or not even a crisis, just, we have a child that is exhibiting a certain behavior, and we need some guidance and counsel today for that specific behavior. It's hard to wait for the perfect podcast to come along that addresses that issue. And so that's what I wanted this membership to be. I wanted it to be where parents could get some real-time answers for what they were facing in the moment. And that's what I hope we can do between all of us. I don't know if any of you have ever been a part of a membership before, but what I can tell you is one of the most powerful parts of a membership is not just the teacher or the coach, but it's the members. And so I did want to address the issue of how we were going to communicate. And I will tell you that, so my little web designer that is building the membership site, she's really good and she can create about anything. But her and I have kind of been going back and forth about what the best way for us to communicate. So of course, I'm going to continue, I think, to use the Zoom platform for us to have our weekly meetings. And during the month of May, when we meet, it's really, I'm just trying to glean some more information for you all. Obviously, we won't start the actual lessons until June, but we've got to have a good way for all of you to talk to each other along with me. And so I wanted your input. My web designer is trying to figure out how she can actually build a platform within the website. So like a chat board within the members area that we log in. That would be ideal. She's just not positive she can make it as effective as we need it to be, but she's working on it. But I wanted to ask if any of you all had any other ideas, any experiences you've had with apps that you think might be a good communication platform for us. Any thoughts? And you might not know, yeah, of anything. Let's see. Okay.
I have a suggestion.
Okay.
When you say an area on your website, are you talking about having a forum built? Is that kind of what you were thinking?
Yeah,
okay.
I was kind of thinking.
So I'm part of a group for people that are in my same job for work, and we have a forum that we talk with and, you know, bring up questions, and that way everybody can answer whenever, and it's really nice because it's searchable later. And so if you have a particular issue that you want to find out, you know, what do I do about this? You can, years back, you can look back at what people have answered, and you can respond anytime. So the history there is really nice. So, you know, other apps might be real time, or if you're urgently needing prayer or something, or feedback right now, you know, there might be some apps for that. But I really like the forum aspect, if you guys can program that. If you need some plugins or something, I can probably find out from our group what we've used and send you that over email, Monica.
Well, I would love that. So you're saying you think it was a written, that they just wrote the program themselves? Or do you think it's a platform?
I think there's a platform you can add, like plug into your website. That's kind of, the structure is built, and you can have some features you want to add or take away that's customizable.
Yeah, I would love if you'll send me that, just the name of it. Let us look into that. I've looked up several. It's hard to just know which one is best, but if you've used it and have that experience with it, yeah, I'd love to know about it.
Okay.
That'd be awesome. Yeah. So
Monica?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, this is Kelly. When she mentioned work, it just dawned on me, one of the apps that we use at work that we have on our desktop and our phones is called Slack, SLACK. And that's where you can set up as a group. You can put it on your phone, and in work, it's not just everybody at work. You can have smaller groups of people. So it's like a forum chat box, and that just might be an option you might look at as well.
I will. I'll look into it. I think I've heard of that, so I'll look at that as well. Yeah. Awesome. Well, so I've got two questions for you all today. I'm not going to keep you really long, and I'm going to ask you to be brave for a second. And so I'm going to ask you, and I want you to type your answer. I don't want you to speak it. And I want to give us all a couple of minutes to read your answers. I want us to all read everyone's answers and just kind of to think of, you know, look at that for a second. And so the question is, what is one thing, just one thing, that you are currently afraid of in parenting? What is one thing that that's keeping you up at night? Without divulging something too personal, but just something that you're afraid of. And if you don't mind, type in your answer in when you think of that. I think we can all relate to these responses, huh? I have received all of your emails in the past week about why you're here. And I was so touched by all of your responses. And I realized that we share so much in common as parents. We usually, even though I know each one of our situations are different and very unique, we share the same common fears. I think what all of us want more than anything in the world is we want to have good relationships with our children, because we know that if we have a good relationship with our children, we have a starting point for everything else that we want for them. And I wanted you all to realize that you're all in the same boat. We all are. And there's a great camaraderie that happens when we know we're all kind of struggling with the same kinds of fears. I have been thinking a lot about fear this week, fear in parenting. And I think about all the times that I have felt afraid in parenting. And you all, I'm here to tell you that there is a solution, not for every worry, but there is a solution for our fear. And that solution is always going to be love. Love actually dispels all fear. It actually does. It's like this miracle drug. If COVID was fear, love is the vaccine. And in June, when we start our first lesson, we are going to start by just making sure and learning how to love each of our family members in the way that they need to be loved. Because what I know is that we can't really make any progress parenting our children, teaching them all the things that we want to teach them, if they don't first, feel our unconditional love for them. But we've got to learn how to love them like they need to be loved. And as you know, each one of us has our own individual ways that we feel loved by others. And so we're going to work on that in the month of June. I want you to know, you all, that my children, so let me tell you a little bit about me and about my story. So I met my husband, oh goodness, how long have we been married? About 30 years ago. I came home from college and worked at a restaurant that he had just bought like 3 months before I started working there. And I really, I didn't really like him all that much. I thought he was kind of mean. And so I kind of stayed clear of him and just tried to do my job. And I had heard, through the grapevine that he was going through a divorce and things weren't good in his home. And I just kind of thought that might be why he's in such a bad mood all the time. But I just worked. And so later in the fall, or that was for the summer, and then I was supposed to go back to school in the fall. And then my financial aid fell through. And so then I couldn't go back to school, and I had to stay an extra semester and work. And it was that next semester that one of my husband's managers couldn't work there anymore. And my husband was kind of desperate for someone to take on as a day manager. And I was so desperate for money at the time, he offered me that position and I took it. And long story short, over the course of the next year, I slowly started liking him. But he had 2 children. So when I married him, I married Charles and his sons were 6 and 4, so very young. And so kind of got thrown into being a stepmom and loved that role and loved those boys. And then I guess about however many years later, we had a son between the 2 of us named Sawyer. So I've got Chad, Tanner, and Sawyer. Chad is 32 Tanner, and I'm sorry, 33. Tanner is 31, and Sawyer is 23. And so we've got these 3 boys, and our life has not been smooth. It's been good, but it hasn't been smooth. My oldest son, Chad, has struggled with addiction since he was 14 years old. And that has been a very heavy, heavy burden on our entire family for years. He, though, has been clean and sober for 4 years now. It's the longest he's ever gone since he was 14. And so we just kind of hold our breath, to be honest with you, and pray a lot and hope that he's finally done with all of that. And so, and then Tanner is my stepson, and he's wonderful. He is a father, but him and his wife divorced. He suffers with depression, yet he won't get help for it. Never has. Just a very quiet, introverted boy, sweetest boy ever, but has struggles and has most of his life. And so you need to know that my family, just like yours, has not been a bed of roses, and I don't really know anyone who has. But what I learned early on is that my peace, people so often in the middle of our crises would go, Monica, why do you always seem so happy despite your house is crumbling? What is this? How do you keep your head up? Why are you always smiling? And you all, it took me a long time, but I learned that my happiness and my peace truly come from my relationship with God. It just does. And it doesn't mean I don't cry on my pillow over my children at times, because I do. But ultimately, I have learned that what gives me peace of mind is knowing that I am doing my very best to teach my children correct principles and model those principles for them. And I haven't always, I fall short like we all do, but every day I get up with a new, renewed determination, and I ask the Lord to help me make good choices and to help me love my children like they need to be loved. And that has given me peace. And I trust in the Lord. I trust that all things are going to work together. I look at my own life. I haven't always been, I've always been a believer, but I didn't live for Christ for a lot of years. And those are I look back and think of those as my dark years, when I just wasn't close to the Lord. And I think about my life, and I think, I turned my life around. And I'm sure my mom cried many nights on her pillow over me. I know she did. We talked later about how she worried about me and worried about the choices that I was making in my life. And so my hope comes from my own experience looking at my own life. You all, my parents taught me right from wrong. They weren't perfect parents, and they did some stuff, that they shouldn't have done, just like you do and I do. But they were good parents. They taught me and they loved me the best they could. And so I just think that we have to believe in ourselves and believe that this is a process, and have hope. Hope is where we get our energy from every day. Hope that our kids are going to make some bad choices in their life as their children and as their adults, just like you and I have. But if we had perfect children without any needs, we wouldn't need, and they wouldn't need, a savior. They just wouldn't. And we know that the Lord gives us these weaknesses, so we will have to call upon him. And so I think we all have to realize that our children are just kind of, going to go through life just like we did, on this roller coaster of good times and not so good times. But ultimately, if we just stay focused on our goal, we're going to be able to make it. And what does make it? I often wonder what we view as what is success. What would you view as success being a parent? I define my success as my relationship with my kids. To me, there is nothing more important, nothing really, because my relationship is what allows me to continue to counsel and influence my children. And so we're going to talk about how to create better relationships with our children and our spouse. I'd like for you at this time, if you don't mind, so there's three things here. There's yourself that we work on. There's our relationship with our spouse, so self, spouse, and children. And so what I'd like for you to do is in the comment bar, put down how much percentage you would like this membership to focus on those three relationships. So self, spouse, children. And, 30%, whatever percent. But would you mind typing kind of where you feel like you need the most help? And so we'll use self number 1, spouse number 2, children number 3. So you can just do, 25, 25, 50. Oops. Okay. So self, spouse, children. Just give me a thought of how much you'd like this to be devoted. I know we got to do math to be able to figure this out, don't we? Okay. Awesome. Okay. Thank you. Thanks, you all. And you can keep doing that. Okay, I've got one more question for you. So every month when we do a lesson, I'm going to deliver a lesson by video to you all the first week of the month, usually on the first day. And then there is going to be a challenge, a monthly challenge, which is just basically taking that lesson and applying it, doing something with it. One thing that I have found when I used to go to homeschool conventions as a mother and just went and, you would go to all these workshops and you would just learn such wonderful information and a lot. Of course, you're going to, 10 sessions a day, but then you get home and you have a lot of ideas, but you really, I think a lot of those great ideas tend to fall by the wayside because it's too much. And so I want to know how you feel about, do you feel like you are going to be willing to actually do the homework? Which is not going to be, I realize y'all, we don't need one more thing on our to-do list. And so I don't want you to feel that way. But I also know that the only way that you're really going to be happy with this membership is if you see progress. And the only way that I can help you make progress is if you take the principle and do something with it. So how do you all feel? Like, I guess I'm wondering are you thinking you'd rather just sit back and be fed and then you'll do what you want with it? Or are you in agreement that having a little challenge each month might be a good thing? So I'd love your thoughts. You can tell me, or you can type it. What do you think? Are we all up for it? You like having a challenge? Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. All right, I'm gonna hold y'all to it, okay? So that's why the communication is important too, because a lot of times the challenge is you're gonna do something with your family, but then also I want you to, make a comment about that challenge in our group conversation. So we can all kind of learn as you all each do something with it, and then you have a good or positive or negative experience with it. As we talk about it, I think it will help all of us so much, learn from that. So 2 of the bonuses that I wanted to offer each month is a family fun activity and a date night activity. And so I don't know how consistent you all are on going on dates with your spouse. I hope you go on a few here and there. But I have 2 ways of doing this. I can create date night ideas and family fun activities, which I already have a lot of those planned. But do you think that we would want to do any live family events like, where we can actually have a Pictionary night and let the kids and interact in that way? There's a lot of fun things you can actually do together. Or do you think it would be better if I just kind of fed you ideas to do with your family? Got any thoughts about that? Date nights, I'm assuming you want it to just be you and your spouse. And so we'll do that. I thought I'm going to do a cookie night though, from time to time, and we're going to cook together, those that want to. But do you feel like you need some extra ideas on how to have more fun with your family?
I think it sounds really fun to do the interactive, like a game together. I think because of the coronavirus, it's been sad to see the lack of interaction, and our kids have done some Zoom calls with school and their faces just light up to see other kids. And so if it was kind of recurring, like a game night, I'd probably be kind of inspiring for them, and maybe see people recurring, kind of develop some of those relationships if that's possible.
Yeah.
Neat. It's a creative idea.
Yeah, I thought it would be fun, and you can attend if you want and not if you don't. And so but I'd like for us to try to do some of those from time to time. So let's see, my introverted kids would not want a live event. I get it. I've got one like that too, and that's okay. So what I'll do is, when we create these family fun activities, not all of them will be applicable to doing in a group setting. But if they are, I'll say either do it with your family, or we're going to do it, Friday night, this date together. And so when you log into the membership site, when it's ready, there's going to be a calendar, and you're going to see, there's only going to be like 1 to 3 events each month. One event is the lesson. Another event might be the family fun activity. So it's not going to be a lot, but you can just pick and choose what you want to do. That was me when I was a mom. I was always trying to find more fun activities to do with the kids that didn't cost a lot of money, because you just get bored of always watching a movie together or whatever. And so especially right now, that would be really helpful. All right, you all. So that's really all I wanted to talk about today. I wanted to see your faces. I've got 2 people that just now tried to get in, so I don't know if they were a different time zone and didn't know. So let me welcome them really quickly. So I've got 2 Jills that just came in. Jills, I thought we only had 2 Jills, so now I'm showing 3 Jill. Oh, it's the same Jill. Jill Goback, are you there? Or Jill Gobach?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can. So
okay.
Did you just got on, didn't you?
Well, I was on earlier, and then I had to leave, and then it took me a long time to get back in.
Okay, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I recorded this, and so I can send it back out. Will you introduce yourself to everyone, because I don't think we met you earlier?
Okay, yeah, sure. I don't know. I don't really have a whole lot to say. I don't know. I guess I have a 14-year-old and an 11-year-old. So the 14-year-old daughter. Oh, and there's my 11-year-old son. I think my daughter's coming. Okay, here they are.
Where do y'all live, Jill?
We live in the Pittsburgh area.
Okay. All right. And do you homeschool?
Sort of. Yeah, they did like an online school this year. It was like a school in Florida that they have like online students and on-campus students. So they were the online students this year. So.
Okay, awesome. Well, hey, kids. Awesome. Welcome. Hey, Jill, it was probably my fault. I will take off. There's that thing on Zoom calls where you have to admit people, and that's a choice that I will get rid of, so I don't have to watch for, because I probably didn't see that you were trying to get back in, so I'm sorry. Yeah.
Oh, that's okay.
Y'all, does anyone have any questions or just anything you'd like to add before we say goodbye today?
Yes, Monica, I wanted to share that when you had your webinar and talking about breaking your child's spirit. Anyway, somebody else had mentioned that they watched that, and that's why they are here. That was amazing. I have to say, my daughter, she thanked me for watching it. And so I know that there's something going on with me and my daughter's for her to say that, communicate that. But I've also started to implement your practical tips, and I've seen a difference. More importantly, in the change that I'm making for me and how I interact.
Awesome. I love that, and thank you for sharing that, Blythe. I have, it's funny, it's not like these are things we don't know, and I know all of you know these things, but for whatever reason, and I was the same way, it sometimes just takes somebody else says it, and then we're like, yeah, that's right. Like, why am I doing that, or why am I not doing that? And I don't know, it just sometimes takes that outside voice for us to just hear it a little differently than our own voice, that we drown out our own voice as well. So I love that, and that's fun that she noticed that as well. So thank you.
Is it too late for the rest of us who missed that, to see it?
Oh no. So well, basically I recorded it, and so I've got it on YouTube, and so I will send y'all out the link to that.
Yes.
I'll do that right after this meeting. Yeah. Y'all, I'm excited. I'll probably email you this next week with some questions as I'm trying to fine tune. What I'd like to do is once we get this chat thing figured out, I want us to practice it a couple of times. And, I'm planning on June 1st through the 7th, allowing some other people to come in. And then, but June 1st will be when, hopefully, if the website, that's our plan, that the first lesson will come out then. And I've already got that made, and I'm excited about it. Also, I am going to ask everyone, or advise that you get a 3-ring binder, and just with a couple of tabs, a tab for lessons, a tab for family fun activities and date night activities. And because you're going to be able to print every week the challenge, and you're going to, have to write down some answers and journal a little bit about what's going on. And so be on the lookout for a little folder for you to put this information in. So thank you, you all. Thank you for coming. I'm excited to work with you. I'll be in touch. And thank you for just jumping on board, even though it hasn't all been laid out yet. It's exciting to me that you were willing to do that. And thanks for being here today.
Thank you, Monica.
Thank you, Monica.
Welcome.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.
Bye. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Need more guys here.
I know.
Are you guys married? Really? Let's see the husbands.
Bring 'em on.
There you go. Must have been. There's one. There he is. Hey, are you guys from Bondarenko there?
Yes,
Bondarenko, is that Russian?
it is.
It is, because I was a gymnast,
Yes.
and I think there was a great gymnast, male gymnast. His last name was Bondarenko.
Yeah, we heard. I don't think we are related to him, but
Yeah.
our kids also do gymnastics.
Yeah, I was a gymnast 30 years ago. I'm a little bit older now.
Oh,
But and I've been
wonderful.
to St. Petersburg for the European Championships. And
Wow.
where in Russia are you from? Or
We
your
are from
family?
We are from North Caucasus. It's a southern part of Russia.
Okay.
Yeah, we've lived. Well, I studied at St. Petersburg. We've been to United States since 1998.
Excellent. Отлично.
Отлично.
Отлично. До свидания. I'll talk to you
До
next week
свидания.
or
It
next
was
time.
nice seeing everyone, guys. Have a wonderful week. Bye-bye.
I
Bye-bye.
minored in Russian in college, but y'all, I seriously only know 2 words: "Do svidaniya," "Здравствуйте," or somehow that's how you say hello.
Здравствуйте.
It's a good start. Good start.
That was my degree was in Russian language at University of Oklahoma,
Oh, wow.
but I haven't spoken it in 30 years, almost
Wow,
25 years.
we can easily make it alive for you and refresh.
Homeschool. All right.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.